What's up, fellas? Welcome back to another episode of Servimon with Servi. In the last episode, we added in our pause menu here in our Servimon section, and today we're going to be adding in our first Pokemon, or Servimon in this case, into our party here. This is basically going to be our party. We're going to have 6 sections. So we can add our little section areas first, because anything that doesn't have a slot is going to be blank, and then we're going to add in stats and moves for the Pokemon. Okay, so we got a lot going on. First off, let's add in these sections. So when we open up the Servimon window here, we're going to want to add in some sections. So let's do a for loop here. 6 times we'll run it, and then we're basically going to want to make some more divs on the Servimon window, similar to this, except Servimon party slot, party slot plus I. So we'll mark it based on which slot it is. Okay. And its width should be about, let's try 40 here. Oh, not 14,000, but 40. With a height of 20. Okay, so here we go. This is going to be weird. Let's say left is going to be 5, right? But if I is divisible by 2, or if it's not divisible by 2 actually, then we'll say left plus equals 55, 50 to shift it over. And then the let's see here, so this is like the remainder of I. And then we need the height to be shifted down. So basically, let's say let shift, how am I going to do this, equals math dot floor I over 2. Okay, and then times, so if it's 0, it's going to go to 0. If it's 1, it's going to go to 0. It needs to be times 30-ish plus 20. I think this will work perfectly. So the shift here actually is really the top. Bear with me, you guys. I think this is the top. And then, right, let me remind myself I formatted this kind of weird. Width, height, top, left. Okay. Figured. So this one's the top, and then the left is going to be here. So it works out. Let's make this like purple for now. So these are just the slots, okay? And they're going to start out empty, and then if we have something in the slot, it's going to paste over it. So, oh, let's also make its border radius nice. And in fact, I'm going to go to document setup here. And for borderer, we're going to say export function smooth border. And then we're going to say pixels. Because I'm sick of writing this function out. Find, oh, we need ID as well. Find ID dot style dot border radius is that. Okay. So if we want to smooth out the border, we can use this. We can go and clean up old uses of that later, but for now, we're going to import smooth border here from document setup. Smooth border. And then we'll go and put it right here. The Servimon, I don't like to type stuff more than once. copy paste. Oops. And we'll do 4 pixels. Try that. I don't know how that will look. Let's see. Do we get an error? Usually we get an error first try. Oh, yep, we do. Did something wrong. Purple is not defined. Oh, simple stuff. We just forgot to make this a string. Hopefully that will work. Bingo. Oh, kinda. No errors, so it looks like some sort of issue here. 1, 2, 3. Oh, so 3 is in the same spot. What's wrong here? So 0 is here. Oh, okay, so, well, first of all, let's do this. Wait, no. The 0, 1 should not have a left of 50. So what's going on here? Oh, I think... Sorry, I think... So I think the problem here is that this gives you the remainder. So we have to say whether it's 0. So I just kind of put this function in wrong. But also, 0 equals false. So if we just switch the logic here, it should still work. There's still... Oh, no, there's no problem now. Okay. So this is almost perfect. I do want to move these slots up a little bit, not expand them out so much in the top direction. So let's do times 25. See if that fixes it. Alright, I'm happy with that. I think that looks good enough. The purple is not the right color. So I'm going to pick a new color and I'll see you guys at the final product. Alright, I'm pretty happy with this. It's looking decent. The next thing we're going to have to do is add in a party. So let's do that in player data here. Let party, for now, is going to be a list. And it's basically going to have empty slots. So, in fact, let's make a class here. Class. Let's do this on a separate file because it's going to be kind of important. Copy this. I just make... Did it go away? So we're going to say Servimon stats.js. I mean, I would just call it Servimon.js, but I feel like that's a little too much, too much the name of the game. So, if that makes sense. So let's make a class here and call it Servimon stats, and construct it. So we'll say this dot HP equal, or this dot name first of all. Name. So let's give it a name, image, a HP, or we'll say level, I guess. Okay, so now we kind of need like a whole object saying like what HP at what level. So, in fact, let's just call this Servimon. And we'll say class stats. There we go. For Servimon, so we don't have to type out the whole thing. And I always forget the syntax for a second there. So we'll say HP, attack, defense, speed, and for now we'll stick with these basic ones. Okay. We could do this faster. So basically we're going to make a list of what the stats are at each level, or what the base stats are basically at each level. And that will go to this Servimon thing, okay? Oh, keep doing that wrong. So a new class, we'll call it S levels. And it's basically just going to be a list. Constructor, well, it doesn't really need to be a class because it's not an object, it's just a list. So we'll say stat list. Okay, now we'll say we'll make our first Pokemon example here. Let Rockmon. We'll call him Rockmon. So Rockmon is going to be a new Servimon. His name is Rockmon. His image is Rockmon. We're going to draw him in a second. His level is going to be 5, or I guess 1. I guess his levels, we'll start with his level as 0. I don't know, we'll probably change that. But to keep it easy, we'll do the index here. And then it's stat list, we need to make here. Let S stats. Let S stats Rockmon. And this is a little messy here. We'll probably edit all the structure of this to make it cleaner when we're making more Pokemon and stuff. S stats Rockmon is going to be new S stats. Well, it's actually a list here. So let's open it up. New, but we will code in only level 1 for now. S stats. And the HP is going to be 10. The attack is going to be 3. The defense is going to be 5. The speed is going to be 2. Alright, he's slow. He's got decent attack, good defense, good HP. Okay. Makes sense. So now we can code this in here. S stats Rockmon. So if we add more levels here, we'll have to just basically copy paste this and scale it up a little bit. Or we could add in like an auto scaler based on their level. That's probably ideal. Instead of giving them every different stat, it'll scale accordingly and we can put all kinds of weird math in. For now, we're just trying to display one set of stats and an image and everything. So this is all should be functionally coded in here. We need to export all this stuff. Nope. So Servimon stats, we'll probably change the name of this at some point. Now the pause menu, actually we'll go player data. We'll import Rockmon. So let party equal, and then we need to do deep copy. So I forget if there's a built-in deep copy function. Let me see. Because we can't actually use the Rockmon that we just made. We need to make a copy of it. An instance of it basically for our party. So let me research the deep copy in this language for a sec. Alright, looks like there's something we can use called structured clone. So structured clone of Rockmon. And in fact, I realized we don't have to export the stats of Rockmon because they're built in here to this export. Where were we? Player data. So here we go, structured clone Rockmon. And then because it's a list here, let's just go to Servimon stats. And then we'll say after Rockmon here, export let blank Servimon equals new Servimon blank, no image, The level doesn't matter. It's -1. Nothing's going to display here. Stat list is going to be a blank list. Okay? And then that way when we display these in our party, if it's blank, here we can go ahead and just put blank. I'll make a bunch of deep copies of it. Blank Servimon. And that way we have 6 in our slot at all times. Oh, but some of them are blank. Does that make sense? It's just a placeholder for now. There's probably better ways of doing this, but it makes sense in my brain. Okay, so now I guess our next step will be to draw our Rockmon so that it can display. Everything else can display. But this is our party, so we're going to need to import that into the pause menu. We don't have player data yet. Import party. Okay. So once again, I'm going to go to pixel art. And let's see what display. There it is. So I'm going to go ahead and open an image. And I'm going to go into my Servimon images folder and grab the rock here. Okay. So this is our rock. Let's shrink it down a little bit. I'm just lazy, so I don't want to draw a brand new sprite today. Let's go ahead and add a new layer for the eyeballs. There we go. Looking good, right? So I added a new layer so I could paste that easily. Alright, I'm just going to speed up this drawing process. Oops. Alright, I don't know. It looks kind of stupid. I went a little overboard with it. Alright, let me clean it up a little more. I didn't want it to look too much like Geodude, so I gave it feet and no mouth. But he's okay. Rockmon, whatever. First thing we're creating. Does he look okay? Alright, I'm keeping him. I shall keep him. So let's go ahead and throw him on into where it needs to be. Into images here. Oops. Yeah, we can leave this site. Alright. Now I should show up here. Let's rename it to Rockmon. Okay. So now he's in our party. He just needs to show up when we go and open the game. Seems to be an error in the code already. Establish connection? Receiving end does not exist. What? What? Oh, okay, the actual error, you guys couldn't see it anyway. The actual error is caused by this. It was just hard to find because it looked like a lot of the other errors that always show up, which is kind of annoying. And in any case, we need them to show up here. Okay, so that's the next step. Let's see here. So we only need one to show up for now. Let's go into the pause menu code. And we just did this. So we're also going to, or no, not this. Where are we? It just looked like the same structure. Oh, over down here, this for loop. So we just made a smooth border here. So let's go ahead and make a div inside our party slot. And it's going to be basically the same size, but it's going to be the party slot. Let's paste this again. And then we're going to say stat zone. I know it's a mouthful, but it's going to be the same size here, but it's going to be white. Alright, let's just see if it shows up. Alright, so now all these white boxes are showing up. That's good. Alright, one problem here is that we only want it to show up if... So first let's grab the actual Servimon we're looking for. Let's say let partymon is going to be party I. We're going to say if partymon dot name does not equal blank. Right, because we have all those blank slots that we don't want to show up. Let's stick that in there. Oops. Sorry about that. Shut up. Alright, and here's our white. Oh, you guys can't see me. Here's our one white box for our one party member. Okay. So, it's not a lot of space to see what's going on here. So we might make this window a little bit bigger. The actual Servimon window. Let's make it like, let's just do 90. And nothing else should change because we formatted it all right. I think this should still look good. Yeah, I don't want to run into complicated bugs that I can't find, so I'm doing everything. Yeah, it is fine. You know, you don't need to see the rest of the game. Maybe we could make this window slightly transparent, but I think it's fine. Like this, now we're going to be able to display all the stats. So what do we want? We kind of want the Pokemon right here. And its stats like here. So what is this split here? Let's estimate 60-40. 60-40 look good there. So let's put the Pokemon in first. Let's kind of copy this format and just edit it. So really want this part here. And then we want this to say image. Absolute mouthful, but we want to be specific. And what did we say? It was 60. Height 100. This can be 0, yep. And white, why not? So we'll just throw the image on that. Grab this whole thing here. And finally we'll get to display our Rockmon, which is going to be partymon dot image. Image, not imager. What the heck? No. Right? Because over here on Servimon stats dot image. Oh, that's the problem. We never finished this. I'm glad. Yeah, it was like the code wasn't doing what I thought, or the, the API at least. It's not working how I expected it to. Save ourselves a little bit of effort here. Okay. Yay, there he is. And he's a little too big because of the way images kind of protrude out of their zone. So, I don't know how I feel about that. I think. Alright, for now we'll shrink him down a little bit. Let's go. Actually, let's go ahead and let's fix something here because I don't like the images being too big. What I'm going to do is come into document setup where I have imager here. Copy this. Call it imager game. Alright. And then we'll fix the original guy here to just be 100 by 100 with no top and left. Get out of here. Oh, no top either. Okay. So now everything's going to default back to normal. So what we need to do under game setup, I think. Everything here that's on the background. Build player, imager game. And map setup, I think. Build map, yeah, imager game. For all these ones as well. Oops. There we go, okay. And this is still the background image, it should be the right size. So what did I do wrong? Oh, we didn't import imager game into here. Or into here. See, I found the bug without even looking. Okay, now he's the right size. Very good. We could give him a little border if we want to. Let's just do it to make it look good. Show off our CSS skills. So we're gonna have to do it manually because our border doesn't do dashed, but this whole thing dot style dot border is gonna be two pixels dashed gray. Just a little border. How does it look? Not great. Okay, we need to do box sizing border box as well. Oops. We should probably just edit our border function to be able to put that stuff in there, but it's fine for now. Style dot box sizing is going to be border box. Oh, you guys can't see what I'm doing, so I didn't X this out. Border box. Okay. What do we have here? Alright, looks good to me. Now we have this whole area for our stats. Let's go ahead and make that. It's getting a little complicated here, but hopefully you guys are following along. So this is going to be the stat zone. It really is the stat zone. So we'll just call it stat zoney. Alright, this is some lazy code naming. I know, stupid. I'm gonna get confused later if I do this, so let's see. Let's make the stat zone. Let's say just zone, right? And then we'll say zone, I'll just say stat image. Stat image. Sorry guys. Yep, I'm stupid. And this is just zone. Hopefully I don't mess anything up. Stats. Stat image. Let's just literally say image. I don't know why I'm saying stat zone and all that. This is fine. This is fine. Okay. Does this still work? Is the question. Yes, other than the fact that this needs to move to 60. Oops. And it really doesn't have to be white. It could be transparent and would look the same. Okay. In fact, it should be transparent for optimization purposes. Same with this. So that way it doesn't have to try to display the pixels twice. Save your computer like a little bit of operating power. Alright, anyway, now I mean, we could just do a for loop here. Look, and we'll do a list. Let stats is gonna be HP, attack, defense, speed. Right. Equals 0. Is less than stats.length in case we add the special attack and stuff later. Alright. Let's do div maker, split this one div into many divs. And we'll say literally plus stats I, right? Or we'll just say let stat equals stats I, because we're probably going to use it more than once. Okay, and then we're going to make it 100 over stats.length. Split it all equally here. I think that's good. Oh, no, the width is 100. And we're just going to go vertically down. So I times, actually, let's say height equals this. You guys have no idea what I'm doing here. But I'm basically just splitting this into 4 equal quadrants, but we're dividing by stats.length instead of 4 in case we change the amount of stats we have. The top is I times height, and the left is 0 for all of them. Again, we can make them transparent. Okay, actually, we'll make this color. Let color equal white. But if I is not divisible by 2, we'll say color is light gray. Oop. That way this will display a little bit better. Hopefully, what happened there? We got an error, I think. Yes. Tell me, error, what did I do wrong? Height is not defined. Height is not defined. Did I spell it wrong somewhere? Oh, I just said, I didn't say let. I didn't let it be defined. Okay. What else is wrong here? No error. Oh. Yeah, we have a for loop inside of a for loop here. So we need this to be not I, but Q. I use Q if I don't have I. Oh my god, I hit. What did I just hit? Full screened it, I think. F11? Full screen? 8. What the heck did I just hit to make it full screen, you guys? Oh no. Oh bother. Escape doesn't work. I'm stuck. Oh, okay. I got it fixed. It was F11. But anyway, here we need Q and Q. And that should still be I, but this should be Q. Okay? Is that gonna work? No. But no error, huh? So what is the problem now? Should be making it light gray every other slot. Oh, okay. It's because stats is a list of one item with one string with a bunch of commas in it. So there we go. I did that very wrong and very stupidly. Here we are. Okay, so this is where we will display our different stats. It's going to be very small still, but it's as good as it'll get for now. You could always have like a little full screen button to bring this guy up. Maybe we'll do that. Yeah, we got time. We'll do that this episode. Oh wait, no, we have to add moves still. We won't do that this episode. We'll just get this basic stuff going. So let's say texter, the stat, and the text is going to be, where's texter? ID text size color. Got it. Text is going to be the stat plus, maybe we'll make these all caps. stupid. Alright. Plus colon, space, plus, and then we got partymon dot stat list. What is it? What is it called? Stat list, yeah. Partymon dot stat list. Partymon dot level. Right. So if it's at level 0, it'll go to its first stat thing here. Dot. Oh. Okay, so let's call this stat. And then we'll say let stat num. So we have to kind of figure this out here. Ugh. Yeah, I have these stats in like a index here, but really I have to access the object property. I coded myself into a bit of a hole here. Alright, so I just have to have a weird stat num equals 0, or we'll say let stat num equal partymon dot hp, right, or dot stat list. Oh my god. So we'll say stat list is partymon is this. We'll get rid of that. So this is the stat list we need, right? And we'll say if q is 0, then we'll say let. Can we just do it like this? Let stat num, not call it anything, it's undefined, and then we'll say stat num is the stat list dot hp. Stats, not stat list, stats, because it's just one set of stats. Alright, so the stat is just this string here. The stats is the number that it has for whatever, and it's being, or the stats are its entire stats, and the stat number we're looking for is based on here. And so oh, this is terrible. This is terrible. There's got to be a better way to code this, but I'm just gonna do it like this. Wait, did I do that wrong? Else if, there we go. And okay, so it can only be 0 or 1. Okay, this is a mess, but we got it working. Attack, defense, and finally speed. Plus stat num. Get it? Got it, good. Okay. And then we need the size and the color. So let's go like 50 and black. I don't know how 50 will look. It'll probably be way too big. And we got an error. What is the error? Access stats before initialization. Okay, because this is stats. So this should be stat strings. Stat strings. Very confusing, I know. I should have probably just not made that list. Now what? Now what, buddy? Stats is not defined. Alright, we're looping through stat strings, not stats. Okay. Try again. Way too big. Also, why is the whole thing gray? Maybe it's just because it's way too big. I'll do 5 instead. Okay. Why is the text size like redefine the entire box size? Obviously 5 is too small. We'll go 15. Wait, are we doing this in the wrong order? Is that the problem? No, size, color. Nah, that's fine. I was about to say, oh. Alright, can we see what we're looking for? Speed 2. Alright, so now what's the... Okay, it's because our height here needs to get set. See what happens when you have to go back and change the name of stuff and you forget. Just, it's frustrating and stupid. Okay, let's make our text a little bit bigger. I want it to be perfect. 25, come on. 25 can fit in there, right? For now, while there's only 4 stats. Look at that. Looking good. Not too stupid, right? Okay. So now we need a way to switch to his moves. So, I guess for now, yeah, we're gonna have to change this a lot. For now, when you click on him, it's gonna switch to his moves, but later it's gonna bring up a full screen thing. Okay, so what are his moves gonna be? Let's add those in. Servimon stats. Okay, so we got Rockmon here. And what are his moves gonna be? He's only gonna have 2 moves because he's level 5. So let's make a new move. Well, oh yeah, we need a class for a move. Class move. So what do moves have? They have a type. Or I guess they have a name, a type, and power, and a PP. PP, PowerPoints, right? So let's just copy all this for the structure. And we'll paste all these in. Yeah, we're gonna try to get all this incorporated here. We'll use rock type because we already have a rock. We'll have 2 rock type moves. Or I guess we only need 1 move. We just want it to display. So let's only make 1 move for Rocky. We'll do it down here. Let rocker. The rocker is gonna be a new move. And its name is going to be rocker. We'll do a capital. Type is going to be rock. And power is going to be, I don't know, 10. And PP is 10 as well. Okay. Sorry, guys. I'm getting a little tired. It's past noon, so this video's late. Anyway, stat list. Now we need this dot move list is going to be blank, or I guess we'll do move list like this. Oops. Oh, silly me. I have to add it here for it to recognize. Okay, I'll add it right here. Rockmon. We'll give you a list of moves as well. Moves Rockmon. New move. Oops. Whereas here, he'll just have his move set, not based on his level or anything. And okay, we already defined the move, so rocker. Okay, moves. Now we'll put it here. Okay. And I don't like to have capital letters here. So let's change this all around. Oops. Shouldn't have any issues now. So we have rocker as a move. We just need it to display. Okay. Let's go to pause menu. Now we're going to have to add basically a click, an on click for the image. I think we can just add that directly for this image here. Where is it? after the box sizing. Find the image. We're kind of making it into a button, so to speak. Add, what is it? Set attribute. Style as the attribute. Wait, I forget how we do this. Add it under make button. Div maker. Oh, it's under buttons. No, it's just regular dot set attribute. I hate when it doesn't. Give me the suggestion. It makes me doubt myself. Stupid. Set attribute. On click. Why is it pretending? Oh, dot set attribute. Yeah, it's a function. All right. And then we're gonna say switch party view plus I plus close bracket. Okay. So now we need to make this function to switch the party view. First, let's make sure it works. Window dot switch party view index of the party. And we're just gonna say show index to make sure it works. Sorry. Of course, we need to come up here to base script and make sure we add it here. Switch party view, because it's a window function. Okay, we clicked it. 0. Popping up there, so that works. And all we're gonna do now is okay, so this whole stat string for loop here, let's go ahead and say after we do this, let's just take this for reference because I don't remember what we called that box. So find, sorry if this coding style is confusing for some of you. Alright, we're gonna basically find this dot inner HTML. We're gonna clear it out. And then we're gonna take this whole thing and kind of copy its structure here to display the moves. So a Pokemon can have up to 4 moves. Okay, really we're gonna want to add some blank moves into his list here. Why does this do this? Tab this over. So let's go into Servimon stats and we'll make some blank moves. Let blank move is gonna be this. Blank. No image or no type here. And we'll do -1, -1. So that we know it's an error. Okay, blank. Sorry, I'm shouting at you. Moves Rockmon is gonna be blank move. So we're getting all the structure for everything here. We're gonna have to reformat some of this when we actually have Pokemon growing up, learning moves and all that. But for now, we're fine. Let's go to pause menu here, switch party view. All right. Okay, for now, it's gonna do this. We'll have it switch back and forth, but let me just get this working here. So we're clearing it out. Let moves is gonna be actually let Partymon again. We have to pull him back out for this new function. Partymon is gonna be party index. Oops. Moves is going to be Partymon dot moves. Right. Simple as that. Move list. dot move list. So now we'll go through moves dot length. Q is fine still here. Alright, don't need any of this stuff because we know what we're looking for. Right. Yeah. I mean, this is always going to be 4, but whatever. Color equal white, light gray. Okay. So, yeah, we'll make the stats Servimon dot plus move plus Q. Boom. Move Q. Alright, this is all still true. And we're only going to put text in there if it's not blank. So if move dot name does not equal blank, then we'll throw some text in here. Okay, but in fact, we're not going to do anything. We're going to add more stuff for these moves. So let's go ahead and we kind of have to reformat this again. it's going to look ugly because it's going to be so small. But for now, we'll say move Q here. Oh, and all these I's need to be index. Do we have any more I? Yeah. Okay, we're safe. Now we want this to say move dot name, and then we can say move dot power. Alright, that's as simple as we're gonna get. You could display the type and the and we'll get to that in the next when we refine this. Honestly, I'm probably just gonna end this off for now, but this is gonna display the move's power. It's not gonna display the type or the PP. Actually, we could do it like this, plus move dot type plus comma plus move dot power plus pow. Okay, what does that look like? Is it even gonna work? It's way too big. Go with 15 or even 10 probably. Rock 10 pow. Can you guys even see that? Alright. We'll mess with this more next time. Oh, let's at least make it go back to normal. Okay, let's just have a random set of party views here. We'll just be super stupid. Let party views is super basic stuff. So the party views are all set to 0, but if we click on one of them, we'll just say party view index plus plus, or party views index equals, I think this will work. It'll switch it from 1 to 0, and then we'll say if party views index equals 1, then, or just if party views index. Yeah, let's make all these booleans so we know what we're talking about. So 0 is false. Does that make sense? And 1 is true, or anything anything but 0 is true. So if now we've switched, we're going to do this. Oops. Ah, what the heck? There we go. But otherwise, we're going to do... Let's just clear it either way. Oops. Okay, yeah. Otherwise, we're going to do this stat strings after we make this thing. Oh my god, why does it paste in so ugly? Okay. But really here I should just make these into separate things. So let's say function open stats, or we'll say build stats index. We'll probably need this guy. So the build stats. Oh my goodness, you guys, this is getting complicated. So either way, we should have this. Just like either way, we should clear it. But we probably don't need it. We need it here. So when we build the stats, we do this. Oops, forgot one of my, yeah, forgot that. Move this to here. Structure it properly. So that'll build the stats. So then now we can put that here when we first start out. Oh my gosh. In fact, we'll do the same thing. We'll just run switch view when we first started out. Switch party view. Right, because then it'll automatically switch. So we'll start them all off with true. This logic kind of flows a little bit better. And then the last thing we have to do is switch party view. Yep, take this and say function build moves index. Oops, what the heck? There we go. I hit B instead of E. Okay, so everything should be good here. We need partymon for both of these. And put build moves here. And we need partymon on both of these. Oops. In here. And we need it here. Make sure we're not using I anywhere. We use index everywhere instead. Because this is not in a for loop anymore, but this part is. That confuse anyone? Hopefully not. Okay. Think it's good to test. Alright, what happened? What happened? Fine. Reading stat list at build stats 73. Build stats, part stat list, part. Can't read stat list of undefined, so Partymon is going undefined. Build stats index. Oh, we didn't pass the index in here. Oh, sorry about that interruption. Okay, so it looks like we can switch back and forth now just fine, just like I wanted. This looks like terrible, but we have our moves and our stats displayed in the worst way possible. And we're ready now to bring this guy into battle. So that's what we're going to do next time. We're going to have a battle with Rockmon against someone else that we're going to have to create, but that's okay. So we're going to add maybe some grass right here, and we're going to add a battle just to preview. I actually have paint. Can you guys see? Paint window. Oh, it's just displaying weird. Let me X out the game. So I got this little stock image of Fire Red. And what I'm basically going to do is I'm going to mark it up with the dimensions of everything. So how much space do we need for this and this? And we're going to kind of copy all this stuff here. You know, all these measurements to figure out where we should put everything. Our little box for our Pokemon, and for our text down here, you know, and for this box. We're going to boxify everything so that we can make this whole thing. And we're not going to exactly copy their measurements, but we're going to make it look pretty good. So looking forward to that. I don't have to save it. But yeah, we've come a long way in 7 episodes. We can walk around, and we've got our first Pokemon that's been just kind of given to us. Didn't have to catch it or anything. Anywho, hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you're confused about anything, leave a comment. I'm sure it's kind of confusing to watch me code some of this, but there's different ways to code it. I'm just kind of giving you one step at a time the functionality that we're adding. So, hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a like, subscribe to stay tuned, and have a good day.